Hello, beautiful alchemist. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Um, I have to say, it's so funny. We're starting this year off in a Mercury retrograde, and I really had the effect of that yesterday. I actually recorded the energy of the month on New Year's Eve, and I recorded 40 minutes of content for you. And in the end, there was no sound. And I sent it out to the newsletter list, thousands of people, and no sound. So this is take two on New Year's Day. I am really looking forward to the energy of 2023 because it emphasizes so much of us going deeper into our cycles of spiritual awakening. Now, with that, if you are new to me or this work, I provide a energy of the month update every single month. So if you are on my newsletter, if you go to Creating with the Moon and Stars, which you have free access to at the start of every month, you can access a video that gives you an update of the energy of every single month throughout the year. But this year, because there are so many significant shifts happening, there are some major planets, they're considered transpersonal and outer planets, will be moving into different signs, which hasn't happened in a very long time. That will be happening this year as well. So, in addition to the monthly updates, I'm also going to post for you in Creating with the Moon and Stars a video to discuss the energy of the entire year of 2023. So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's talk about this energy that we're moving into. And of course, acknowledging the energy that we are moving out of. So 2022 in the system of numerology was a universal year 6. And the number 6 really focuses on finding harmony, balance, pointing to our responsibilities. And because it points to the essence of our responsibility, it often also points to the energy of home and family and caretaking, our roles that we play within these significant dynamics within our lives. So last year, for a lot of people, there was a lot of emphasis on relationships that really matter, the nurturing and care of relationships that really matter, making changes, focusing on home life, what that means, relocating or just doing things differently. But overall, recognizing what brings balance and what is potentially causing imbalance and which changes we were confronted with as necessary to bring more order into our life. Now, the beauty of 2022 is in all of this, there were so many beautiful opportunities for healing, realization, lots of aha moments. And that really kind of set the stage for us for this energy that we're moving into. So we're moving into a universal year 7, which emphasizes our spirituality and our intuitive nature. And this is why I said this is a year that is really going to push us or encourage us to go even deeper into our own spiritual awakening, our next cycles of awakening, understanding, healing, and growth. It's really all about our evolution, as is every year, but there's a lot of emphasis this year. So, in this space right now, we're in a transitional period. So, we're still kind of lingering in the energy of that we're coming out of as we transition into the energy of the new year. And in this space, we often have this habit or ritual or tradition, I should say. It's more of a tradition that we tend to focus on what our upcoming goals will be, what it is we may want to experience in the new year, what we plan to do differently to support us even more. And interestingly enough, based on astrology and the position of the sun at this time of year, this aligns perfectly with these goals of intentionality around our contributions in our lives and in the world. So we are in the energy right now of Capricorn. At the end of December into about mid-January, we're in the energy of Capricorn, which again is going to highlight and put emphasis on what is our contribution to the collective, what is our passion, our drive, our desire. But more importantly, Capricorn is going to really hold the mirror for you to say, well, what are you doing about it? Are you being diligent and putting in the effort, the time, the work to really support being successful in whatever it is that you feel called to do, create, to share, to contribute? The beautiful thing about this energy as well is it also puts emphasis on what our lessons are, holding ourselves accountable. Now, that doesn't always sound great, but it depends on how you see it. If you recognize your gifts of change that support you on your path, then it's less, we may have less resistance around avoiding looking at what no longer fits, what's no longer aligned for us, what's no longer right for us. This is a time to really reflect and consider what's true. So, as you know, the universe does, we also have some amazing support in this, in that we are currently also experiencing Mercury retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So most of you are familiar with the concept of Mercury retrograde. The planet Mercury itself points to the essence of our communication, its movement, its travel. Think of it as governing the system of information, of knowledge, of consciousness to some degree, but how that moves, how it flows, how we communicate, how we express, and again, how we are moving about in a very external way, whether that's travel or by other means. Regardless, when this energy goes retrograde, it's like it turns in on itself. So it's a time where we have to be more mindful about how we are moving, how we are communicating, how things are being expressed, and how things are being understood. So there's really this kind of magnifying glass to examine all layers of communication and information when Mercury is retrograde. Now, it's a time to revisit, revise, notice, and again, examine for what changes maybe will best support you, or things come back around for higher understanding. But it's in the energy of Capricorn. So that means that as we are moving out of 2022 and into 2023, we also have this opportunity to restructure. And the reason I'm putting emphasis on restructuring is because the energy of Capricorn itself is very structured in how we are taking care of business, so to speak. So with this energy being retrograde in Capricorn, it's a great time at the start of this new year to consider what needs to be restructured in your life. Are there patterns, behaviors, ways of doing things that you've just become so conditioned to do, but no longer fit or align with where you're going? Or have you been spinning your wheels about something, wondering why things aren't working out, or you can't gain momentum around something? It's a good idea to look at it and see, without attachment, where can I do something differently that will actually support my way forward? So this Mercury retrograde started on the 29th of December and will last until January 18th. Although we still feel the after effects of the retrograde a few days after the end, when the planet starts to station direct. So from now until about the end of January, it's a good time to be in that space of restructuring, considering what needs to be revised or changed for your benefit. Now, this year, as I mentioned, is a universal year 7, which really highlights our spirituality, our spiritual nature. And I will post a video about the energy of the year, like I said a moment ago. But just to tell you a little bit more about that, with my oracle cards, the Energetic Alchemist Oracle, I like to look at the energy of the months or energy of the day. I look at the energy of so many things using the cards to help me understand what I may not be seeing. And with the number 7, there are 2 cards in the major expressions of the deck that really also help us to understand the energy of the year overall. So the first card, number 7, is the Flight card. And the other card also equals 7. It's number 16. It's the Liberator card. And these 2 cards together really point to our freedom of mind. In this year, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on your consciousness coming into relationship with how your thought patterns, your belief systems are really contributing to how it is that you move forward or where they may still be restricting you and holding you back. But 2023 is going to say it is time to free yourself from old thoughts, systems, ideas, traditions, patterns, teachings, even that are no longer aligned with where you are and where you're going, or even that are restricting your expansiveness of consciousness in some way. Because all of this, your frame of mind, your level of understanding, and your healing of heart mind intelligence, which we focus on a lot in Reiki, this all points to how it is you experience your life, your overall life experience. And that plays into your life path, having clarity and understanding around that. It plays into your relationship energies. It plays into your finances. It plays into everything, your state of mind and being. Now, I will say with that, just really quickly, in my work, I do focus a lot on chakras, more specifically chakra mirroring, which is a technique that came through for me in channeling years ago. And I teach it and discuss it a lot in the alchemy circle. But there are also a lot of emphasis, there's also a lot of emphasis on the 3 jewels, which comes up in the system of Reiki as well. And that's also or another name for the upper, middle, and lower Dandian. So I think it would be very beneficial for us to look at the teachings even of these 3 jewels or your upper, middle, and lower Dandian to help you navigate this journey of spiritual awakening in a more expanded way this year. So with the lower Dandian, you want to make sure that you really are taking time to be in relationship with you so that you have presence of mind, practicing grounding the mind into the body so that you are more aware and in your mindfulness. And then in that state of awareness, you also become aware of what is held in those lower chakras, which often is what's passed down through us, through our DNA, our lineage, wounds of the past and this life experience, unresolved feelings and memories that we may be carrying in a very heavy way. But with being grounded and centered into yourself, you have the strength to recognize what does come up for the sake of you seeing and understanding in a higher way. And this is why in the system of Reiki, if we look at the Gokai, there is so much emphasis on recognition of what is, but with compassion and forgiveness, with the essence of gratitude, so that we can again purify the heart mind intelligence, the way that we see and understand things. Because this level of healing is going to help to open the heart center, your middle Dandian. And with that openness of heart, we allow ourselves to become more receptive. We allow ourselves to become more vulnerable. We allow ourselves to become more open and aware to the beauty of our true nature and being in a deeper, loving, compassionate relationship, not just with ourselves, but with all beings. And it guides us deeper into that understanding of being one with all there is. And as our heart begins to open and that healing occurs on deeper levels, we then start to illuminate the upper Dandian, which is the third eye intelligence, that deep recognition of divine vision. And we could go on and on about that, but all of that points to the energy of 2023. So just keep that in mind. If you do want some guidance or mentoring around your energetic alchemy, your connection to this work, I am reopening the Alchemy Circle enrollment for the Alchemy Circle in March. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. But then in this month, how we're beginning, we start with the first month, January, and today is even the first day of the month. But this number one energy in my deck, we have this card called the Wise Ones. And as you can see in the Wise Ones, there are 5 characters. They represent Egyptian deities, but they're also representative of the elements: fire, water, air, earth, and ether. And what the wise ones are reminding you of is your ability to create and coming into relationship engagement with your elements, which are the air is related to your mind, water is related to your emotion, earth is related to body and how you create. We have ether, which is related to your energy, your essence of spirit, and fire is your divine will, your action. Your relationship to all of your elements, to the nature of your being, contributes to how you create. So, as you are planning in this first month and having this time to be more reflective about how you are restructuring your life as you move ahead, consider your relationship to you in deeper ways. And as I mentioned, it impacts how you move forward. This is the threshold card, which is the number 10, reduces to 1. Threshold is really emphasizing that this year we're being welcomed into this portal of change, the next phase of your life. And we have representation here of the 4 fixed signs. And so again, it's really about sitting with and sinking into your nature of mind, observing the nature of your emotion, your will, your determination, your relationship to body, which is the translator of all of this information. January is really a great time to not necessarily go deep into the action, but to be reflective and start planning. Because as we move out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, you're going to be encouraged to be then more innovative, doing things differently than before with more originality and just in a more advanced way. So before we get to that, there are a couple of things I want to highlight for you. There are some events of the month, and we'll talk about those energies. But I also want to let you know that on January 5th, which is on a Thursday, I will be offering my free annual Numerology 101 class. So if you are not familiar with the system of numerology and are curious, or even if you are and just want to explore it again, you can come to the class. It's a free event. The link for the class is available for you in Creating with the Moon and Stars. So if you log into your Teachable account, go to Creating with the Moon and Stars, at the very top, you will see a section that is about the energy of the year and numerology. Click on that and you'll see the link to join the class. It will be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't attend live, the recording will be available in that same space. So one of the things I really want to make sure not to forget is that this year, this universal year 7, just planting the seed for you, it's about your service to humanity and recognizing how that begins, though, with your self-mastery. So no matter what it is that you recognize as your soul's calling, or what you want to contribute, or what you want to experience and explore in a new way this year, remember that your own energy, your own state of mind and emotion is going to be huge factor in how you experience, contribute, create, build, and so on. So you always want to make you and your healing, your personal energetic alchemy priority. Okay, so on the first day of the month, because it is 1/1, it is a great day to think about your alignment. And again, because of what I've shared, even just having some consideration of your alignment to your spirituality. What is it that you believe in? What is it that you practice? What is it that you want to refine and to heal, and why? Where is it that you are struggling? Where is it that you need support? And are you open to coming into deeper alignment and awareness of who and what you are, the beautiful essence of your true nature, and being more diligent and recognizing that we're each accountable to the work we do and how deep we're willing to go. But the first lunation that we're going to pay attention to for this year, we have the first full moon of 2023. It sounds so weird to say that year, 2023, on January 6th. On January 6th, we have the full moon in Cancer. So when the moon is full, it is in the opposite sign that the sun is in. So while the sun will still be in Capricorn, the moon will be in Cancer. Here's the thing. Capricorn is considered like the archetype of father energy, and its opposite, Cancerian energy, is considered the archetype of divine mother. So on this full moon, we're literally sitting in the expression of divine parental intelligence, divine father and divine mother. So it's really helping us to recognize, again, the gift of going in to our emotion, but having some clarity, strength, and accountability for what it is that we feel and what we hold. So it's not really getting lost in emotion or becoming possessed even by our emotion. It's that balance of witnessing, feeling, acknowledging our emotion, but then that other aspect of looking at it from a way of practicality to realize that this acknowledgement is meant to help us grow. How do we grow through what we hold on to emotionally? We forgive, we have compassion, we allow ourselves, we have the willingness to be more open to seeing and understanding in a higher way, and not attaching to our hurt, our upset, whatever it may be. It's really a space for recognizing what has come full circle or what we are full of for the sake of how we move into our next phase or cycle. So this beautiful full moon in Cancer is a beautiful time for your own emotional recognition, recognizing your lessons, and even the responsibility to your healing and your growth. And because of the Mercury retrograde, don't forget, you can reflect on what it is that you learned emotionally, what was felt, how you've grown, or even where you still resisted throughout the previous year. Take not accountability, but take stock of what it is that you actually grew through. And again, where the wisdom was within your journey of 2022. What were the highlights? What were the lessons? What were the aha moments? And again, what may have been a challenge that actually revealed something to help you grow and understand in a higher way. So in the full moon, I always say I like to look at what we are full of and examine that again to have this deep bow of gratitude as we close out a cycle before entering a new. So after that, we look at January 20th, and this is when the sun moves into Aquarius. So again, we're going to move out of that Capricorn energy where we're really looking at the structure of things. By this time, Mercury will also be stationing direct. So we're coming out of that space of reflective energy and restructuring how we're going to contribute to our life path and journey. And Aquarius then says, take all that consideration and then expand it into innovative thought? What can be different, original, way outside of any box or old patterns of doing what it is that you love or feel called to do? How can you do things in a more advanced way? How can you be more bold and daring to change old ways, old patterns, old, even the ways that you may have been taught to do something? Is there something in you that says, I would feel guided, or I think this would work differently if I tweak or change or whatever it may be? Let that energy of Aquarius inspire you to have the audacity to do things differently, uniquely, even if it's in a way that you've never seen before. But the other thing about Aquarian energy is it also is the essence of the humanitarian. So it asks us as well to be mindful of how what it is we feel called to do isn't just about us, but it's a contribution to the collective, including just down to your thoughts. The energy of your thoughts, the projections of your thoughts, the projections of all the layers of your consciousness, your emotion, all of it, your intention, even if you don't speak it out loud, these energies are generating and projecting back into the collective field of one. So everything you think, you do, you say, all of your actions, everything is impacting, contributing, shaping the collective. And when you think about that, it makes sense that a lot of us feel so called then to give time and attention to our healing, because the healing that allows us to go deeper into those spaces of love, compassion, understanding, kindness, that too is contribution to the collective. So Aquarius is really going to bring you into the space of doing things different, being very innovative. And I always think of with Aquarius that commonly it's said to dance to the beat of your own drum. But on the next day, on the 21st, the moon is going to also be in Aquarius. So we'll have the new moon in Aquarius. And during the new moon, we just want to set intent. It's not a time again to take action yet, but because of how reflective you've been in the beginning of the month, it is a great time to just clarify, what are my seeds that I'm going to plant? What ideas, what do I feel inspired by at this point to plant as a seed of intent that I will nourish and pour into throughout the course of the year? So again, just remember, Aquarius is going to say, dare to do it differently, whatever you're intending. Now, the day after this, on January 22nd, we have the Lunar New Year, which will be the year of the rabbit. And we also have the planet Uranus going direct on that day. But with the Lunar New Year, last year, 2022, we entered the year of the tiger. And even if you're not familiar with Chinese astrology and the symbolism of the animals, I mean, just think about for yourself the difference between the energy of a tiger and a rabbit. Now, the thing about the tiger energy is it may have been more assertive in a lot of ways, more what we feel like this energy of like action oriented, and I just want to say like a more feisty kind of energy, which can have its pluses and minuses, its benefits and its challenges. But the rabbit doesn't, even though it seems softer and gentler, don't think of it as like, oh, this is going to be like this boring, slow year. No, it's just that things are going to be gentler. So in the year of the rabbit, it's thought of as like, we just have more patience and luck and success, and our connection to building into our dreams and our desires. It's just done with more calmness, just more peacefulness, and it's more decisive. So still, we're moving ahead, we're moving on, we're evolving forward, but this year is going to give us an opportunity to do it in a more peaceful way. Now, it doesn't mean that we won't have our challenges. Of course we will. But the year of the rabbit is really to help us make even better decisions. And again, just having less challenge with our successes. But it all is going to come back to your mindfulness, how you see things, where you resist, and where you allow yourself to evolve. So the Lunar New Year, again, is on January 22nd. And if you are in Alchemy of the Oracle, which is a class that I'm currently teaching, we also have our Oracle alignment on that day. So mark your calendar. If you are not in Alchemy of the Oracle, there are only 2 spaces left. So if you want to join right away so you don't fall too far behind. Everything is recorded so you can catch up with us before coming to the live events. But you would want to make sure you have the Energetic Alchemist Oracle deck, which you can get through my website at theenergeticalchemist.com. And when you register for the class, you will get the Oracle workbook. It is a guidebook that was created for the course, and the class will run from now until spring. This is the workbook. It's like 300 pages. We're covering a lot. And the emphasis is on your relationship to your intuitive nature, being the oracle, a mediator between the realms, but also coaching your clients and even, quite frankly, coaching yourself in holding space for everyone in your life with more clarity, more love, and understanding. So a couple of things I want you to know before we wrap up. There are a few more things to just put on your calendar. I mentioned to you before that there is a free numerology class January 5th. Mark your calendar. If you want to join, go into Creating with the Moon and Stars, and you'll see it under the numerology section of that course. And the recording will be there once the class is over. Also, season 9 of Reiki Radio has come to an end. The final episode was with Bruce Taylor, and we spoke about the legacy of Yusui Sensei and the legacy of Reiki. Bruce and his teacher, Inamoto Sensei, are hosting a pilgrimage to Kyoto, Japan in May 2023. So if you want to learn more about that, hear more about that, listen to the latest podcast of Reiki Radio. But if you missed any of the episodes, you can listen to the entire season in the archives. So be sure to listen, tune in on your favorite podcast platforms, or you can also follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can watch the interviews there. Also, I just mentioned to you that Alchemy of the Oracle, there are only 2 spots left. So if you want to join us, hurry, jump in on that. And then in March, Alchemy Circle will resume. Again, if you want to join me for that, it is group mentoring this year, especially with the year being focused on our spirituality. We're going much deeper into our energetic alchemy. And I'm really, really excited. If you've ever joined any of those classes, you know that they are channeled and pretty much led by my guides. They're very interactive, and I cannot wait for us to begin this next cycle of the Alchemy Circle. But another thing is, because this year is so centered on spirituality, and in January, we're focused on how we're contributing on our paths, I also wanted to offer a thank you, a gift to say thank you. So there are 3 of my most popular classes that are 50% off only from now until the Lunar New Year. So that's Intuitive Reiki, which includes 2 classes. Intuitive Reiki, that bundle includes Intuitive Mastery and Reiki tools. So if you want to get deeper and feel more comfortable with your Reiki practice, plus you want to feel more confident in your intuitive ability, starting from scratch or expanding from where you are, Intuitive Reiki is a beautiful class, and it's actually been my #1 class for years. And it's a bundle. The other class is Ancestral Healing. A lot of people are curious about what it is, the coding that they hold in relation to their ancestry. So in the Ancestral Healing class, which was phenomenal, we focus a lot, of course, on what it is that you are holding in consciousness. In that class, you learn a lot about chakra mirroring, and there's just plenty for you to dive into to support your own energetic alchemy in ancestral healing. And then finally, spiritual business development, which has supported so many practitioners with clarifying their business. Now, a lot of times people think it's as simple as I'm a Reiki practitioner. Well, if you are serious about having a business, a practice, um, you want to look at the different components of what makes that more grounded into reality for you, but more so aligned with your own values, what it is that you specialize in. There are so many different aspects, even your mindset, that we cover within spiritual business development. So those 3 classes you can access now for 50% off until the Lunar New Year. You just use the coupon code New Year, one word, New Year, at checkout. And finally, I have been asked all through COVID when I will be resuming Reiki classes. I will finally be teaching Reiki again sometime in 2023. But at the start of the year, I have to get through the Oracle class. There are some other projects that I am working on and some other commitments I've already made. So it won't be until later, like the second half of the year, where I will be providing Reiki training again in person. So if you're interested in training with me, stay tuned for that. Of course, the dates, the details will all go out in the newsletter once I have those dates solidified and available. So that is it for now. I'm really, really excited about 2023, going deeper into these cycles of spiritual awakening, because it really, it excites me to go deeper in my own practice as well. But I love to share and support other energetic alchemists, seekers, healers, empaths on their paths as well. So I look forward to working with all of you. If you have any questions about my work, my classes, you want to enroll for anything now, go to my website, theenergeticalchemist.com. Everything is there. I just really am looking forward to a healthy, happy, magical, prosperous new year for all of us. And if you ever have any questions for me, you can always contact me through my website. And I will see you next month. Bye for now.